Hi, happy new moon in Pisces. It's Kristen and you're at my channel In the Good, and we are doing another relationship you them romance reading for the new moon. If you don't want love, I have a bunch of messages on the channel this week, all dedicated to the new moon. I have general messages, career messages, so you will find something that resonates. All right, let's get started. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It's a great way to support the channel, and it would mean a lot. Okay, your energy is the creator. I think in discovery, or you have been in discovery, this cycle of what you want to create in relationships, what is meaningful to you, what fits well with who you are in your life right now. And I think in some way you've, to use the word mastered, but there has been a big chunk of new clarity along what works for you. The logistics of how someone treats you, how they communicate with you. New learnings about, I don't ever want to sacrifice that again. I want to make sure I have these things that make me feel good, that make me feel secure, that don't put me in a place where, spending time with someone or getting to know someone is not a process that sucks all my energy out. Because it can be that way. A whole chunk came out. So I'm going to shuffle. Sometimes there's chemistry and you're having a good time, but it's still sucking a lot of energy out because of just the mechanics of the day-to-day and how the relationship is not in flow. Right? So their energy is existence. I think this person that you're dealing with is, why am I here? What am I doing here? What has my life brought me to? What are the decisions I've made? Have I made the right choices? What kind of choices should I make now? I think it's like they could also be in a place of sitting, contemplating, reflecting everything they've been through. And perhaps in discovery of how do I want to exist in relationship now? Like, what does that mean to me now? But you're in this place of fire around it, passion around it. You're in an active place. Okay, I want to be there. I want to be doing things. I want to be in that, let's get to know each other. Let's be in each other's lives. Let's try it out. This person is sitting and thinking a little bit more, daydreaming a little bit more, contemplating perhaps the past a little bit more. Two came out and I'm going to take them. So what's in between you? The energy between you is thunderbolt and harmony. So there's a harmonious breakthrough. Maybe that's what I'll call this video. It's a harmonious breakthrough. It feels good emotionally. Like we have these playful dolphins. The sensuality of it. It feels very sensual. To be together, it's this bliss place. It's being in the emotional field with somebody else. And then over here is like the lightning bolt of, wow, this is like, I'm with somebody else, or I'm, getting to know someone else. And how does that make you feel to be in it with someone? How does it make you feel to be in these feelings of bliss and sensuality and to be in harmonious emotional feelings and to be in an emotional place with someone that it kind of feels like you're on the same wavelength? It can feel very overwhelming if you're not used to it. So there's something in it for the both of you. If we put these two cards here together, this is a lot of passion. This is like you're wanting to go for it. You're in a grounded place, even though it's very passionate, even though it's very active, it feels very grounding. You've done all the reflection, you've experienced all the things, and now you're very confident. You courageously want to move through this. It might be overwhelming. It might feel different. You might be scared it won't work out, but it's like, I want to break through all of my negative thought patterns and my behavior patterns, and I want to go for this in a way where I'm sitting in the seat of my authentic self. That's a real breakthrough. Here, over here, if we kind of put these cards like this, right? It's sitting and contemplating, what could it possibly be like? And I think this person is thinking, what could it possibly be like if things were harmonious? If I was in a relationship where I was at peace in myself, I'm accepted for who I am, I can accept myself, I can be the best version of myself in this relationship. What would that be like? How can I dream that into existence? But then there's this kind of thunderbolt of like, wow, it's here. What do I do with it? It's going to disrupt my life in some way. They have structures in their life that would need to be shifted and changed. Perhaps there's an acceptance here, or there needs to be an acceptance of things that don't work, things that have to go, old foundations, how your family thinks that you should be in relationship, or what kind of relationships that you think that you should be staying in or be geared toward, even though they haven't brought them into harmony, even though there was no harmony. And then over here, it's like you're ready to go. But then there's this pause. There's this slowness. There's this emotional, watery depth. This is having to go down into emotions that perhaps you haven't touched in a while or even ever touched. And it's like having to discover the deep depths of yourself when it comes to what you want in partnership, what you need in partnership. Also a cleansing around anything that has been integrated or is trapped, clearing out the mental space of old stories that you're telling yourself about how you can't have what you want. That there can be this playful, harmonious union that is emotionally stable and passionate, where you feel free to surrender to how you feel with someone. Let's go a little deeper. Okay. The Ten of Wands hitting up with this thunderbolt. It's going through a series of relationships or events in your life that have maybe made you look at old foundations and how they really were keeping you trapped or keeping you stuck or keeping you from moving forward in what you really wanted. Perhaps there's just a lot of old ideas around, I can't have what I want and this is why, and no, it's this practical reason. Feeling overloaded and hurt. But going through a process, an emotional journey where you were allowing yourself to be broken down and witnessing yourself as you are being the observer in what has led you down the path of the relationships you've been in and where you are now. I feel like there have been markers of the light markers leading you down this path that may have seemed unknown. I want to say unwelcomed as well. It's like you were forced down this because there was a part of yourself that knew that you could have more than what you were allowing, like you were compromising too much. Or you were simply just limiting yourself for one reason or another. You've been unable to move. But unable to move, like there was a certain lack of confidence, perhaps due to past relationships or relationships witnessed in your family or the relationships witnessed in the community around you. Perhaps you have a lot of those, some of those like Instagram type couple friends where everything looks great in the outside and then it's not. And it's sort of like, well, what does work? But there have been markers along the way. And I think that there are a few key relationships, there are a few key couples that you have come upon, perhaps this year in the recent past, where you're like, yeah, that really works. Like, I want that. Like, give me that. I want some of that. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes, whatever inner work it takes to get there. And you have. There's this other energy that you're dealing with where you both activate and trigger each other, right? And there's also a place of feeling at home. Like you're both on a journey where you're returning home to, the authentic self, returning to the original desires of life. Like it's like the original goals reimagined, or the original dreams reimagined. Like, this is what I thought I wanted, but not anymore. And there can still be a holding on to this baggage for one of the other of you. Of, no, I have to have these burdens. I have to have these burdens. Often in this card, it's like you're seeing people holding their burdens and they're trying to get home. They're trying to get home. But in this card, it looks like a distinct walking away of the castle, right? If you see the castle in the distance, she's not walking up to it. She's walking away from it. So it's like you, them, both of you are walking away from something, but there's still a certain amount of baggage that you're taking with you, that they are taking with them. And I think there's a sense of, this is what I have, this is what I got, this is what I have to deal with. Another way to look at it is, I'm leaving this big old house, I'm leaving all my stuff, and I'm taking just what's essential as well. That seems to be on your side, like you blew up what wasn't necessary, what was too much, what was weighing you down, and you're just going with just the essentials, like the essential self, the natural self, the self before all these learned societal expectations were put upon you. It's with the Empress. This is such a highly sensual card. This is connecting to Mother Earth. This feels to me like the fire of the center of the earth, the heartbeat at the center of the earth. Connecting yourself through whatever has come, whatever has exploded in your life, whatever has not worked out. And this could be so many other aspects of your life that are affecting your relationship with this person, or any relationship that you're in. Because when things fall apart in our personal life, in our work life, it kind of peels back the layer of everything. So if it was a relationship that fell apart, it peels back the layer of work. I mean, we're holistic people. This also, it feels very much like connecting to the elements, to water, to nurturing yourself, to the moon, new moon in Pisces, that place of mothering oneself, that place of giving birth to the next version of who you are, giving birth to the things that you are manifesting, that you're creating, that you're nurturing. You're connecting to the moon, connecting to the mysteries. Allowing yourself to be a mystery. There's a difference between holding back, not revealing yourself, protective, and all of those things can be wonderful. Boundaries are wonderful, and boundaries are a huge part of creating intimacy, being able to have one's boundaries and respect someone's boundaries. But this feels like secrets revealed, like going into the book of your own mysteries and feeling connected and grounded and harmonious enough and courageous enough to want to reveal yourself more, but it's almost like you're peeling it all back in a seductive dance, you know, little like an old scarf dance is like the image I'm getting. It's like you see those old movies and she's like revealing and like covered in scars and she's taking them off one by one, but at her pace and at her time. At your pace and at your time. Because they, you know, because this person is taking time to reimagine. Ten of Pentacles, something about relationships and security. Perhaps they're very ambitious, perhaps they're in leadership position, perhaps they're the boss, perhaps they're very, very, very accomplished, very successful. There's something about family for them and how family life should look for them, should look to them. Perhaps they're thinking about family life, or they're thinking about how their family life has affected their relationship life. Queen of Swords, honesty. This person values honesty. They value your honesty. They value your sharpness, your directness, your intelligence, your fierceness, your resilience. You know, I want to say over here, only with the Pisces New Moon and Moon and Mother, there could be issues with their own mother. They could be reflecting upon, looking for healing about, maybe they're realizing that the relationship with their parents informed the kind of relationships that they've had, or specifically the relationship they've had with their mother has informed the relationship they've had with their partners. Or they were trying to please their mother in some kind of way. High Priestess. Can I have a clarity on the High Priestess? I mean, this is truly tapping into the intuition. And with the High Priestess and the Empress, it goes back to you are ready to take action here on something. You're ready to go, whereas they are learning to tap into their intuition. I want to say it's like they're trying to understand their DNA. They want to tap into a higher power, a higher source. This could be somebody who recently has taken up some kind of meditation, or they've come into a certain amount of self-awareness or personal growth, or maybe they've actually always really been into that, but it's been more hidden. With the moon coming out, there's like a hidden aspect to who they are, because there's like that hidden. But there's a lot of illumination coming in for them as well about the realities that they can't not look at, about how certain things have fallen apart, that are not working for them anymore, given all the way from family history to current, and that you can wipe the slate clean and connect to a higher version of themselves. Final thoughts. Two of Swords, Eight of Swords, Five of Swords. You don't want to get caught up in over-analyzing anything too much. Don't wait to make choices. You really do, with this Pisces New Moon, want to tap into the heart, tap into the power of your own intuition. And don't be afraid to look at yourself. Now, perhaps you have a person here on the other side who looks at themselves and sees someone trapped. I just did another you them that's going out this week, and this same card came up in that reading as well on the other person's side. So there's a through line here if you want to go look at the other you them reading coming out for Pisces New Moon. But I'm going to say there are aspects where both of you see yourself as trapped. And I think that over here on your side, getting out of the emotional turmoil and tapping into the fire within, to your will, to I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to bust up my own life. I'm going to bust up. I'm going to disrupt. And regardless of what the outcome is, I know that I've broken patterns. I know that I've disrupted old patterns. I'm not doing things the way that I used to. And I'm really grateful for this experience because it helped me with that, regardless of what happens at the end. And then Hanged Man, everything in its timing. Receiving a certain amount of enlightenment, no, receiving enlightenment because you busted up your old patterns. Because you did that, because you activated that and came out the other side. It's like we see like all the yellow and all the red, and it was chaotic. And now you have all that passion, all that ability to move forward, to unstick yourself. But at the same time, you're at peace and you're grounded and you're feeling harmonious. And you want to call in someone who can sit in that place with you that's very, very passionate and very at peace, very harmonious. But if you have someone over here who sees themselves as trapped, perhaps for the first time they're looking at that, it's causing this, right? It's causing this chaos. It's causing things to fall apart that maybe they never thought in their life would fall apart. King of Cups. Coming into an emotional place of deep intuition, where the feminine and the masculine sides of yourself can intertwine and work with each other. Thoughts on how this is gonna play out between now and spring equinox in the next month. Coming together. Three of Cups. This is also saying to hang out with your friends. That spending time with friends is going to make you more attractive, but working in communities, working with your job, working with other people, creating a fulfilling life makes you more attractive. Eight of Cups, and somebody is looking at walking away and going in another direction. Nine of Wands, someone might stay a little bit defensive because they feel like everything is falling apart. Not defensive towards you per se, but defensive about their life. And Judgment. Things getting another chance to replay themselves, but from a different perspective. Here with the Hanged Man. There's going to be some new perspective, and there's going to be some kind of... You're going to feel very justified that you followed your intuition because you're right about how this person feels for you, and you're going to release any blockages. You're going to release blockages that are holding you in emotional turmoil, that are preventing you from being free. This person wants you to be more free with them. There's a side of you that has been hidden. There's been that mystery. You've been peeling back. They want to see more of you. And that's going to help them feel more calm, harmonious, and confident. So you can drop the mystery a little bit and trust that they want to see what's behind the veil. Happy full moon. Let me know if it resonates. Please, I hope that you will hit subscribe if you are so called. I would love to hang out with you more. connect with you more. It would mean the world to me. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.